Okay, here we are in the great state of South Carolina, the Midweek Howl on location on the road. I am sitting poolside at my daughter's beautiful house here in Rock Hill, and it is pouring down rain. So if anybody can hear that rain, that's what it is. This is live radio. So
Hope lightning don't strike you.
It might. After what you and I were talking about, you never know. Lightning
You're the
might.
one.
What's
Bad
that?
mouth. No, nothing. You're the one that wanted to trespass on a lady of God.
Well, she's a self-proclaimed lady of God, So there you go. There you go. So yeah, we're down here in South Carolina. You're the one that's always making the road trips all over the country, all over the world, seeing stuff, and this is the one trip I make. Is down here to see my daughter and grandkids and son-in-law. I should include him. He listens to the show, by the
Does
way.
he?
Yeah, he listens. He works third shift. He's a great cook. That's really what he should be doing. He's a great cook. He used to cook at a really famous restaurant in Charleston called Huss. And when they moved up here and started having kids, he was in the restaurant business for a little bit, but the hours are so bad when you have kids. And, if you're in the restaurant business, you're definitely working Friday and Saturday night. So he got a job at a paper mill down here, and he really likes it. But it's like 11 to 7, kind of by himself, filling order, like great big spools, like of paper, like industrial paper. He puts together and ships out. It's kind of cool. I don't know that I could do it. He seems to enjoy it, and then he gets in, he gets to be with kids and stuff late in the afternoon. So all works out. But he still should be cooking. He's a great cook, And he comes to family, Thanksgiving or Christmas. He's the guy that brings like the little his own knife set. You know what I'm saying? Like he travels with his own knife. My stepdad said one time, I've never seen a turkey cut up like that, except for
that
one.
Or that fast or what?
Well, there was nothing left. He said it was like, usually you get a turkey and there's stuff on it, and then you throw it out for the animals to eat, and it looked this turkey
for your animals, man. Come on.
No, like the coyotes and stuff like that.
Yeah, but you don't want a coyote to get a chicken bone in his throat.
We don't. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh, you cruel.
Well, listen, there's nothing more cruel than hearing a coyote eat a cat. I don't even like cats.
I'm telling you, I had a cat incident in my garage this week.
Oh yeah, what happened?
Well, I got a big old crippled dog. Like I was almost going to take off this Friday to put him down, and he's tried to cheer up. I got to get him out of the pool 2 or 3 times a day because he can't quite get up the last stair. So he sits out there and barks until somebody gets him and picks him up. I had to sleep with him last night because it was thunderstorming. So I put him in my bed, and the big son of a gun wouldn't hardly get on his side. So the other day he's going, I don't even know my days now. Sometime over the weekend he was going nuts in the garage, and I didn't think nothing of it. Now I got a little yellow lab. She goes nuts all the time at everything. There's some groundhogs behind my house, and that's what she's usually barking at. But he was in the garage, and I thought, well, maybe he had a mouse cornered or something. The next day, same deal. He's going out there going berserk, and we're about to go somewhere. So I told Charlie, my boy, I said, hey, see what that dog's barking at? And he comes in and he said, hey, there's a little kitty cat out there.
Like he was barking at a little tiny kitty cat?
He said, well, it's because it was hiding underneath my boat spare. You don't imagine a spare trailer tire sitting flat. And I guess it got down in the center. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
A wheel and tire.
It crawled in the, yeah.
So it got in the hole, and the dog couldn't. So my son picks it up, and the first thing the dog does, grabs it. And anyway, and then it got over by my air compressor, and my wife said, so my son said, I kind of got it cornered over here. My wife said, "Go get it. Go see what it is." And I went out there and I took the trash can and scooted him in the trash can, and I had him in the bottom of the trash can. So,
So the cat
and it
just
was
probably
wet.
sat.
It was wet a little bit from where you could see where the dog had grabbed it at least once, and my son got it away.
Yeah, yeah. And they probably sat there underneath that rim, and the dog could sniff it through the hole in the middle.
Right, and
And then
bark, but couldn't get him. So then it made me think about my yellow out there. I think because I got some big rocks out of natural limestone formation out on the edge of my yard, and I said, "Oh man, I hope that dog." I always thought it was a groundhog. So I said, "I hope there's a mama cat out there that got a bunch of babies or something."
Yeah, well, thank God the dog. So the dog can't get out of the pool, but he's after the cat.
Yes, he used his last bit of energy to go after this cat. Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't have a problem.
Toby Keith. He ain't as young as good as he used to be, but he's good once as he ever was. So
Amen.
he couldn't chase a herd of cats, but he could get one.
That's trapped underneath a spare tire.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Well, speaking of tires, so we've been planning this trip, and I had to get new tires on my Suburban.
On that $50,000 Suburban, you had new tires already.
And I had to get new tires on my
Hey, what
Suburban.
year is it? Did you see the recall on all them Suburbans and stuff?
Mine's a 2018. Why?
It's older than the recall. Never mind.
All right, thank God.
The 21 through 23's been recalled.
See, that's what happens. You don't get a nice one, then it doesn't get recalled. They just don't bother anymore. They're just like, it's so old. There's probably other stuff going on. So we got this huge list of stuff we have got to do on Friday because Christy had to work, but there's just a whole bunch of stuff we had to get done. Getting tires on my Suburban was the first order of business. And 6:30 in the morning, the guy that's going to put my tires on texts me and says, "Hey, I don't feel good. I'm going to leave the tires sitting outside the garage," like he owns a garage, because I'm just going to leave them sitting out there. I think you can find somebody that'll put them on for you. So
Isn't it the tire shop?
He works on cars, but his main business is he's an excavator, but he also works on cars and does a really good job.
The correct way to answer that is no, he is not.
No, he's not a tire. Look, I'm trying to give the guy credit. He's a hardworking young kid, and he didn't feel well. So thankfully, my postmaster actually bought a garage. And I don't even know.
Tell this kid, no matter how many times I haven't felt good and I deliver your mail,
I still get up and deliver the mail. So anyways, I text the postmaster at 6:30 in the morning. I said, "You got anything open in your garage this morning? You can get my tires put on." And
you went to this nobody to try to save a little money.
Well, no, he does stuff. Izzy does some office work for him, and he's done some landscaping and stuff for us. And like I said, he does excavating. So no, he's done a good job for me. We put brakes on last year before we came to South
Because
Carolina.
I had this argument all the time with a dude I work with that buys his tires over here, and then he's coming over here to get them rotated, and he goes to 3 places to save $17. I'm like, dude, you didn't save nothing. What's your time worth? Well, I was off that day. I'm like, dude.
No, this was not the case.
This feels like deja vu.
He was going to do it all. He was buying, I bought them through him, put them on, whatever. And so anyway, so the postmaster goes, "Yeah, I'll get you in, just bring it over." So his postmaster's not a tire shop. So they got to take them someplace to get them put on the rims and balanced before they bring them back.
So why didn't you just do that?
Because I don't know any of those people, man.
Ain't you got a tire shop in that town?
There's a couple
that you could have just went and got tires and just dropped it off.
But I wasn't. The point is I wasn't going to have to do that. The other guy was doing it. I couldn't help that he got sick. I'm scrambling now. I'm just like, hey, somebody I got to know and get me in. And so the problem was, I told the postmaster, I said, "Hey, I got an appointment at 10:20." So I go to take my Suburban. I take my tires off. I watch the guy that's working on put them in the truck to take them across town to the place they're going to put them on. So I go next door to grab some breakfast and come back out. And it's getting close to 10. And now my tires aren't back and they're not on the truck. So I'm calling the next appointment going, hey, I don't know what's going on here. And I might be late. Well, here I see the pickup truck pull in with all these tires, and I walk up and the kid goes, hey, they told me just to bring them back because you had an appointment at 10:20 and to put your old tires back on the Suburban so you can get to the appointment because it was going to take an hour to get these tires done. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I just need the tire. I'll figure out how to get to the appointment. So he goes, really? So he gets back in the truck, drives back across.
You should have just said they dropped me off on my appointment on the way.
They turned around then and gave me a car that was sitting there. I assume it was the postmaster's, one of his cars. And they said, go do all your appointments and just come back.
I see why the post office is failing now. If this is you and your postmaster got this goat rope going on, no wonder the postal service is failing.
Listen, we're much better at getting the mail out, trust me, than doing this. But it all worked out. The problem is I have literally not driven a car. It has to be 3 or 4 years. And I had to go through the bank. I mean, I literally had to park the car in the drive-through and get out up to the ATM because I could not reach the ATM from the car. I had to go get a prescription for Christy through it was terrible. I mean, it felt like I was sitting on my butt driving through. Like, when's the last time? Do you ever drive a car anymore? I know you drive trucks.
Every day. I drive a freaking Honda.
Oh, you drive that old Honda. That's right.
It's 2013, but it's a beautiful Honda. I get compliments on it all the time. But
how can you?
Because I'm in excellent shape. I eat right. I take care of myself. I'm on the Ed train.
Listen, if you and I look like Ed, we'd already have a show on the History Channel, and they'd be following us all over.
Let me tell you, Ed carries cars, right? So that's why a Honda he would just carry himself. He wouldn't have to drive it.
One under each arm.
Yes, that's why he's got a big old 1-ton truck. Mm-hmm.
So to top it all off, here's the best part is I leave to go start this tire fiasco, and Christy goes, the hot water heater's leaking. I'm like, what are you talking? What do you mean? And she goes, it's leaking. Well, we got to get this fixed.
They go turn the valve off. It's got a shut off at it.
Well, I'm not there. Not that I would have known to do that anyway. But
gosh.
But we start calling people to see who can. Well, we can't leave it like that, regardless, because
you can too. If it's electric or gas.
Electric.
Well, you just turn the water off and turn the breaker off and just leave it.
We can't. Izzy's there all week while we're gone. We can't leave her with that. We don't want to leave her
hot water. Tell her to turn the breaker on. Turn the water on.
Oh boy!
When she's done, turn it off.
Anyway, so
I see you raised with money.
Oh gosh, are you kidding? We didn't even have a hot water heater when I was raised. That's why I didn't know what to do with it. How about that? We had to boil our water if we wanted it hot. I mean, come on. Didn't live in the lap of luxury with breakers and hot water heaters and stuff. Anyway, so thankfully somebody came out and said it was just the valve. Just like you said, it was the valve. So they replaced the valve, saved us. Some other place would have come over and said you needed a new hot water heater. I'm 100% sure of it.
Especially if they seen how you handled a tire purchase. They said, we can get this guy.
What was going on at the same time? They'd have never been the wiser.
Or they probably wouldn't know. This guy's out of money. He can't even afford to get tires on his truck.
But anyway, and those tires that they took off my Suburban, just so you know, were free. So I got those free from the guy who I bought the tire. Because the last time I was going to get tires in the fall, and he was out doing something at her house, and I said, what do you got for tires? And he goes, hey, I got a truck at the shop right now. I'm going to take the tires off of it. You want them? They'll get you through the winter. And I'm like, yeah. How much? And he goes, nope. I'll put them on for free. So there you go. That's see, you got to save a
Put me
buck.
in my place. Amen.
Save a buck. So anyway, I'm not too proud to drive around on barely road legal tires to save a buck. Anyway, so the best part is the guys that came over, it was a guy teaching his son. He wants his son to take over his business. And Christy was there, with them and stuff. And he took off the valve and he put it in the box and he goes, now I want you to show this to your husband. So he can see what was wrong with it. And he'll understand. And she goes, no, he won't understand. He won't understand. He won't even know what he's looking at. And he goes, oh, now come on. And she goes, no, he won't know. So then he left and her dad came over and she showed him the box and she goes, well, maybe you can look at the box because he wanted Shane to look at it, but it'd be a waste of time. And even her dad laughed at the idea that I would know what was wrong with the valve on the, I understood what she told me, but
It was leaking.
yeah, there was something, the spring mechanism was broke or whatever, but I can't change that stuff. There's people that are way smarter than me, that's their business. I'm not trying to
take food out of somebody's mouth, some plumber's mouth.
Hey, just take solace in the fact that if we lived within 10 miles of each other, you'd have been the one I would have called and said, hey, first you'd have been the one I'd have called and said, hey, the guy backed out and put my tires on. Can you do it?
I could have took it over my cousin's. My nephew's got a tire machine. My cousin's got a tire machine. Somebody else I know's got a tire machine.
Yeah. And then it'd have been the same thing. Hey, our hot water heater is leaking. Who do you know? That's how I get things done. People, right? That can help you out. That's all I can do. That's all I know. Because I can't do it. It'd cost more money if I tried to do it.
Well, at least you recognize that. A lot of people don't recognize that. Right?
No, probably not. Look, I know my limitations.
What we're going to talk about tonight, it wasn't that. Don't we got to do a shout out? We got a super fan.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Yeah, I do have, okay. Best compliment. We're always talking about people giving us bad reviews and some good ones.
I love the bad reviews.
We got in my book, my favorite review was sent by Steve W6K4B. Okay. I don't know what all that stands for. It's probably an acronym for something, but he said after last week's episode, it was like listening to an episode of Seinfeld. I can't wait. I'll be back next week. And I had to ask
it pays like Seinfeld.
You hope it pays. Well, like I said, there you go.
Watch that show. I told somebody that the other day they couldn't believe it. I never watched Seinfeld. I never watched The Office. I never watched.
Really?
I might have seen a couple of Offices on a airplane, but I don't know. I've never seen a Seinfeld or Cheers. You remember Cheers was all over because that dude died a couple weeks ago? I've never seen a Cheers.
Are you serious? You've never seen?
Why would I have seen it when I'm working all the time?
Well, back when that was on, yeah, you'd have been
90s. From 93 to 95, I worked noon to 10 every night, just about.
Yeah, you're right. You wouldn't have probably seen that or Seinfeld.
There was no TiVos and all that shit, right?
Oh no, I was just talking to my son-in-law. So my 7-year-old granddaughter brought out an X-Files book. She had an X-Files kids book, which was kind of cool. And he didn't even know she had it. And and he goes, man, I watched the X-Files every Friday night. And I said, yeah, so did I. And he said, and his dad coached football. He goes, so there were some Friday nights I missed it because I wanted to go to the games he was coaching. And, you got to watch him again, like in August. You know what I'm saying? When they did reruns, You didn't
Right. Oh
get
yeah. Yeah.
there was no TiVo or
Makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah. There's none of
They
that stuff.
they would start rerunning it again. And yeah, yeah. And I watch okay, another for all of our TV show watchers out there, Sirens on Netflix. Have you seen that?
I knew some sirens, but I didn't. Never saw it. Is it a new show or what is it?
It's a 5 episode.
I've been
Uh,
watching Mobland myself.
I haven't seen that. It's a 5 episode. It's got Julianne Moore, Kevin Bacon in it. It's pretty good. About a rich family on an island or on a like a Nantucket kind of island, and the sister of the rich lady's personal assistant comes to find her because her dad's got dementia, and a whole it takes place over like 2 days, and it's pretty good. I like I like it. So I'm highly recommended. You know, it's not Mobland, but it's reasonably close. Maybe.
Maybe who knows?
I work with a girl who hates Kevin Bacon. Hates
Well,
him.
he wasn't in anything until he lost all his money, right? Like the last 10 years, he really popped back up.
Well, nah, he's in everything. I think wasn't that the joke? The 7 degrees
He
of
is now.
or 6 degrees
He
of
slept with everybody. He wasn't in the movies with them.
That's
a big difference.
that wasn't the game. It was 6 degrees.
Okay, that's whatever. It's your story. Tell it.
It wasn't that he slept with everybody. That wasn't the game. It was he had been in so many different things that that almost every actor or actress in Hollywood was within 6 degrees of him.
Oh, see, I don't remember him seeing anything after Footloose. He wasn't in nothing. He was in that one with Clint Eastwood, the one in Boston, Mystic River. Was that what it was? That's a crazy one, isn't it?
He was in JFK.
Yeah, but that was in 1997.
He was
Bernie Madoff took all his money.
Bernie Madoff took all Kevin Bacon's money?
He was a Bernie Madoff victim. Mm-hmm.
I didn't know Bernie Madoff took all Kevin Bacon's money.
Yeah, he took a lot of people's money.
He was in a really good show that is on Amazon Prime right now called The Bondsman, where he's a bail bondsman and he gets the beginning of the show. Did you see
it advertised, but I didn't see any.
That's a really good show.
Watching?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It starts out he's trying to go, bring somebody in and they end up killing him. And then he wakes up and basically the devil has brought him back to earth to be his bail bondsman and collect all the demons that have escaped. This is actually it's a pretty good show. But this young girl I work with just hates Kevin Bacon. Won't watch. I have no idea. I always thought he was a pretty good actor. Am I wrong? I mean,
I don't have an opinion. I don't even know.
I mean, he was in Animal House.
I never even
crying
watched
out loud.
Footloose, so. Oh, you're right. He was in Animal House. That was his first show.
I wonder how many people remember that. The kids these days probably. Has your son? Okay, let's talk about
your son lives Animal House. He doesn't watch it.
So he's never watched Animal House?
Not that I'm aware of. No, the new kids are in Dazed and Confused. That's the kind of movies they want to watch. You know what I mean? Something like that.
So is Dazed and Confused like a classic to them that they go back to?
Yeah,
I mean, that would have been out before they were born, right?
Yeah, it was out before they were born, but that's okay. It's got some good people in it. So
all right.
Yeah.
And now my granddaughter. Now for all the Bigfoot people, my
a Bigfoot show just was on the trailers the other day for something. Somebody come out with a Bigfoot show?
Well, somebody's doing some AI Bigfoot stuff that is kind of comedy. Have you seen that?
No.
I
just seen a trailer. I seen a trailer for something Bigfoot oriented.
So, my 7-year-old granddaughter. So she's just figuring out that I do the podcast and do Bigfoot stuff, and she's got in her book this big book of facts, that says why some people believe in Bigfoot. It's got some stories in it. So as we were driving around today, they were asking questions, and my youngest granddaughter goes, Bigfoot's just a big monkey. Just a big monkey. That's all it is. So Georgia, my older one, this is her quote. Bigfoot is the god we worship, the god of monkeying around.
That's what this 7-year-old said?
That's what the 7-year-old said in the car. She goes, Bigfoot is the god we worship, the god of monkeying around. And I'm like, that is very prophetic. But she was saying, like they monkey around, they were messing around, and that's why they worship Bigfoot, because he's their god, because they like to monkey around. I thought that was spectacular. A lot of promise, that 7-year-old. Yes. So last night we're sitting there, we're talking about like some old stuff, me and Christy, and then because my daughter is, I had her when I was 18, so
Right.
Sometimes you're like, oh, she's just my little sister. It's like sometimes this is what it feels like. She's not that much younger. And but we're talking about, do you remember the little plastic birds that you would get, that the tail was like a pipe and you'd blow in it, you'd put water in it, and it'd make chirping, like bird sounds? You remember those?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so we're describing them. My daughter didn't remember them. So my granddaughters are sitting on my lap in this chair, and I get on Amazon. And so I ordered a box of them from Amazon, and they came today. I ordered them last night, and they came today.
You've been sitting there blowing birds all day?
Oh, my God. There was little plastic. First of all, it was a box of 24 of them that came, which is crazy. And when my daughter got home, there was 6 of them around the pool, because we were in the pool this afternoon, and they were like dipping them and blowing them. My 5-year-old had 3 in her mouth and dove underwater because they would make noise underwater when you blew them. Or somehow they discovered that. And she comes up out of the water like a whale breaching with 3 of these plastic birds in her mouth, blowing bubbles. And I just thought, this is great. We're going to leave at the end of the week, and these birds are just going to torment my daughter and son-in-law for the rest of the summer. How about that?
I wait till you leave and pick them all up and throw them away.
Well, we got enough. We told her she's having her birthday here in about a month, and we said, at your birthday party, make sure you give every one of your friends one of these birds so they could take them home. So there you go. That's my contribution to the people of Rock Hill, South Carolina. Plastic birds. And they came right from Charlotte. Charlotte must have a huge Amazon hub. So that's how they got here so fast. I could just see right on my phone, boxed up in Charlotte and sent right over. I mean, it didn't even take 12 hours for them to get here. That's crazy. But that's why there's so much, so much junk. I doubt it was the last box of 24 plastic bird whistles.
You don't know. They might have sent them all to LA for the rioters to chirp at the cops and stuff.
Oh, well, you never know. They've been better off, right? If they were just chirping at the cops.
I think they're doing a lot of chirping.
Hey, listen, that's what happens when you go and interrupt somebody's Italian meal on a Friday night or Saturday night.
Wasn't that in the movie?
That's where all that started. They went in and arrested everybody who was working in an Italian restaurant. And I'm like,
no, they went in to arrest 3 guys for a money laundering case.
Is that what? Well, yep. The people that were there said they ended up arresting a bunch of people from the Italian restaurant. And I'm like, well, why are we arresting people in an Italian restaurant?
Well, because everybody knows the Mexicans make food in every restaurant. Come on. Is your son-in-law Mexican? I should have asked you that a while ago when you said he was a chef. Cook.
No, he is not Mexican. Thank you.
Oh. And you still say he's a good cook?
He's a great cook, man. He's a great cook. Yeah. And I'm not just saying that because he'll probably hear this. He's a great cook.
What You forgot. I forgot what you said. What did the super fan say in his thing that he said he loved? We called us Seinfeld. You're Jerry, and I'm who?
He didn't. He didn't. He didn't say, and I didn't ask because I'm always afraid that they might say I'm Newman. You know, I don't want to be Newman. I mean, come on.
I never saw it, so I don't know.
You don't know? Newman was Wayne. You know who Wayne Knight is, right? The actor Wayne. He was in JFK. He was in Jurassic Park.
Hold on, I'm gonna Google him up right now.
Yeah, Wayne Knight, big portly guy with glasses. he
I see him right now.
Yeah, he's the mailman that lives down the hall, and he's buddies with Kramer, and he's Jerry's nemesis. He was in the 6th most episodes of any character, I believe, on Seinfeld. Wayne Knight.
Well,
he
gets a nice residual check.
I'm sure he does. So here's the trivia for everybody that loves Seinfeld. So you got the 4 main characters. Everybody was in every episode, I think, except for Jason Alexander and Michael Richards were not in one. And it was one where Jerry and Elaine went to Florida and saw Jerry's parents. But the next most after those 4 was the lady who plays the cashier. Ooh, did you hear the lightning? The lady that was lightning. The lady that plays the cashier, I can't think of her name. She was like in 100 some episodes. Ruthie Cohen was her name. That was I think her real name, Ruthie Cohen. And she just played the cashier, so she didn't really do anything. But in 2 episodes, they gave her lines. And 1 episode, she really had because she was there all the time, they made an episode half about her. Like, because in the Seinfeld episodes, there's usually like 3 or 4 storylines that tied together and had a big payoff at the end. So Ruthie Cohen was who appeared in the 5th most Seinfeld episodes. And even the most diehard Seinfeld episodes might not even know who she is. So there's your trivia.
That's why people come here to
be enlightened about Seinfeld.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Well, but then we had another fan who last week when we were talking about my pension, and you said it was as good as gone, made the comment that I must have made a look on my face when you said that. And I mean, like, I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
Oh, you mean somebody because they see you?
They can see me. Yeah, they put
do you put these on YouTube or something?
Yeah. Phil, because my video's on, he puts the video up of us.
I'm glad I turned mine on then.
Yeah, see?
Clean my office. I have to brush my teeth.
Why I don't?
Well,
I mean, come on.
But you're from Ohio, so they don't expect as much.
Oh, God. So anyway, I do want to give a shout out to so if you're in Ohio, driving up 33 going through Lancaster, stop at Todd's Mountain View Restaurant for breakfast. That's my tip of the week. Make a special trip to Lancaster, Ohio, which normally you wouldn't want to go to Lancaster, Ohio. It's a great town, I kid. But
Amish out there. Lancaster's full of Amish, I bet, ain't it?
That's Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Either one.
No. I haven't been to Lancaster, Pennsylvania. But I have been to Hershey, and there's lots of Amish around Hershey. So there you go. So yeah. So next time you're in Ohio, stop in Lancaster, Todd's Mountain View, get the plate of biscuits and gravy. It's one of the best I ever had. There you go.
No, that's it. What any other sponsors you want to shout out?
No.
Bob Zamico, Jeff City.
Bob
Zamico. Stop by Bob Standard for all your station needs.
Speaking of that, I was hoping they hadn't caught that guy that escaped. in
The
Missouri.
devil, the
Yeah,
Ozark. It was in Arkansas, but that's just the same.
Arkansas.
Yeah,
I thought he was in
they said he
Missouri.
only got 2 miles from the prison.
Really?
Yeah, he's less than 2 miles from prison. What did they call him? Not the devil. They had some stupid name for
Yeah,
him,
the
didn't they?
devil. They called him the Ozark Devil or something, or the
Right.
devil.
But I'm like, dude, he used to be the chief of police of some little rinky-dink town. So how much of a badass could he be?
Well, he shot a guy while he was on the phone. While he was on the phone with the
Well, that don't
mayor.
mean anything. I'm just talking about when he's running out in the woods. I mean, think about all the small town 2-man cops you ran into.
Well, you know what the other thing
When's the
now?
last time you saw a cop that you said, I'm scared of that guy?
ugh, I
You know what I'm
have
saying?
not. I have not. Unless it's some patrolmen are pretty stout, but I haven't seen a
Yeah.
cop or a
Yeah,
sheriff.
that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen a few. It's been a while. When I was a kid, there was a shitload of them. When I was a cop, there was a shitload of them. But anymore,
Mm.
I don't see. I mean, I'm scared for malfeasance to happen or gravity to get them on me. But some
Or
of
a
them
heart,
I'm afraid
or,
they'll eat me. But I'm not scared of.
or a heart attack to happen during the chase.
Yeah, I
Either.
just assumed that dude would have been in Florida by now. 2 days.
Well, did you? So you're saying the guy was not Missouri? He was in art, like it
No,
was.
the prison right on the Arkansas line. You know,
Okay,
it's like being down Cincinnati and people saying, "Yeah, well, he's in Indiana." Well, sort of, but not really. He's got 6 8 miles to go.
but I mean, was the town he was in?
Mm-mm.
Um,
No,
it,
but the Ozark Escarpment, is that the correct term? It's called the Ozark
yeah,
because it's a plateau escarpment, kind of like not a plateau. I think an escarpment's smaller than a plateau, right? The Mississippian plateau is what the name Mississippi comes from. Did you know it from the Mississippi
I did not know that.
age? It's like it was formed 10 million years ago or some shit like that. Well, the Ozarks is a smaller, so like the Mississippian plateau, I think is what we're on. So that would be like a country or a state. And then the Ozarks it goes from basically Boonville, Missouri at the very highest point south of the Missouri River, all the way down to northern Arkansas, just barely touched Oklahoma. But the Ozarks is its name for a subterranean um, type of rock formation,
Okay, I did not know that.
because of that, the trees, the hills, everything is pretty similar. Whether you're in Missouri, Arkansas, a little chunk of Oklahoma, I don't think it hits Kansas, but anyway, he was in the Ozarks, but he was in the Arkansas Ozarks.
Well, so it wasn't like a guy that you had ever come in contact with during your law enforcement days.
No, but there's so many rinky-dink towns south of Missouri. I work north of Missouri.
Okay, but did you see how tall he was?
No.
6'9".
Oh well, he would have stood out.
That's what I'm saying.
My God,
6'9". How would you? And that's what
blend
they
in?
said. Yeah, you would blend, like, unless you were at an NBA tryout camp.
Family reunion. What are you talking about? And did you see what he looked like?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just assumed once you get out, you got to do two things. You got to get moving, right? So you got to get a car, you got to get a vehicle, you got to hitch a ride, climb up in a truck or a car or on a train and get some distance. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the other thing is they said that he ran that little town with an iron fist because he was just so much bigger than everybody else. Never needed back. He just bashed everybody around because he's
I don't know about that. I mean, come on.
That's what they said.
I've seen some Brazilian jiu-jitsu guys. I've seen some wrestlers that would just 6'9" just gives them more torque when they get your limb. You know what I mean?
Well, but do you normally run into a Brazilian jiu-jitsu?
I wouldn't want to be a cop nowadays. Everybody's, especially in Missouri, every fat person's got a gun, and every skinny guy is a Brazilian bull riding, fighter or ATV racer. You know what I'm saying? Everybody under 30 is a force to be reckoned with anymore. Just ask them.
Hey, You keep talking like that, all of our female listeners are going to be heading to Missouri.
Oh, hey, they can get their ass beat just as easy as these girls here.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of the From the Shadows podcast. Until next time, never shy away from the darkness or what may be lurking in the shadows. We are out.